Following sanctions in the Hillary Clinton case, Trump withdraws second legal contest to New York Attorney General. At the Hilton Anatole in Dallas, Texas, on August 6, 2022, an event at the Conservative Political Action Conference (CPAC) was attended by former U.S. President Donald Trump. CPAC, which started in 1974, is an annual gathering of conservative organizations, activists, and world leaders to discuss current and future political issues. At the Hilton Anatole in Dallas, Texas, on August 6, 2022, the former President of the United States, Donald Trump, addressed the Conservative Political Action Conference (CPAC). On Tuesday, Donald Trump, the past president, discontinued a second federal civil action of his own volition that was filed against New York's Attorney General. This was an effort to prevent her from taking legal action against his real estate firm based in Manhattan, which was seeking $250 million in fraud. Last week, a federal judge in Florida awarded close to $1 million in sanctions to Trump after his lawsuit against Hillary Clinton was found to be a frivolous act. The lawyers for both President Donald Trump and New York Attorney General Letitia James submitted paperwork on Tuesday that indicated they had reached a mutual decision to drop an ongoing appeal in the Federal Appeals Court in Manhattan. In an attempt to gain the Republican presidential nomination for 2024, Trump submitted an appeal after a federal judge from the Northern District of New York dismissed his legal suit against James. The Attorney General expressed satisfaction in the statement, declaring, "I am delighted that Donald Trump has rescinded his two motions against me." James commented that they had a valid legal basis for their case against the defendant and their outfit and that they would not be intimidated or made to back down. In an announcement, Alina Habba, the lawyer of President Trump, stated that the appeal was deliberately taken off the table to reach a specific goal. In September, James launched a lawsuit worth $250 million against Trump, the Trump Organization, and 3 of his adult children, accusing them of utilizing allegedly fraudulent financial declarations concerning the organization. After a thorough review of allegations that the Trump Organization had misused the stated valuations of real estate assets to their advantage, James brought her case to New York State Court. In December 2021, Trump brought a suit against James in the federal court of the Northern District of New York, requesting a court order to end or impede the investigation. This legal action maintained that James had broken Trump's constitutional rights. The mission of James, according to Trump's lawyers, is driven solely by her political animosity and a wish to oppress, scare, and retaliate against a private individual she considers a political opponent. In May, the judge granted James' petition to have the case dismissed. In November, 2 months after James initiated a lawsuit against him in Manhattan, Trump retaliated by filing a suit of his own in a Florida state court. The accusation was that her investigation was part of an effort to intimidate and harass him. James went to federal court in Florida to file a second lawsuit in order to prevent her from gaining access to the documents in a trust he set up in Florida that holds ownership of the Trump Organization. Politics as reported by CNBC. In September, Judge John Middlebrooks concluded the lawsuit, deeming it a political manifesto that expressed the plaintiff's dissatisfaction against those who had challenged him. Last week, Judge Middlebrooks determined that President Trump and his attorney, Habba, must pay a sanction of $937,989 for bringing forth what the court deemed a frivolous lawsuit, both legally and in terms of facts. Judge Middlebrooks' decision highlighted how President Trump had engaged in repeated behaviors of taking advantage of the court system and had used it constantly to take revenge on his political opponents. On a subsequent morning, Trump decided to pull the plug on his lawsuit that was in Florida federal court and of which Middlebrooks had been the overseer. Subsequently, Trump abandoned his challenge of the ruling in a New York federal court in the Northern District to dismiss the lawsuit brought against James. Is Trump that desperate for power? Being one of the famous icons in America, does he really run America, or he is just maintaining his position? Well, subscribe and stay tuned to find out.